you guys. So today's video is part 2 of what might be a 4-part mini series on my channel wherein I am coming clean about my disgusting need to redo my entire makeup collection. I call it disgusting because I've never bought this much makeup at one time in my life. The long and short of it is, and you can skip to the timestamp below if you want, I took like 2 years off of makeup content, well, content creation in general, but certainly beauty and makeup related, mostly because I was just tired of it. I felt uninspired and thoroughly bored with all the releases that were coming out. There were a few things I saw coming out that piqued my interest, but I was so far removed from investing in it, playing with it, experimenting with it. I just didn't care. However, now that I'm back on the wagon and I am back into makeup, all my old stuff was either gone because I have been decluttering aggressively for a long time, expired, or discontinued. So it was going to make it very difficult to come back and create content about makeup with makeup that either you couldn't buy or probably had some sort of infectious skin eating disease inside of it. All that being said, I just did a video all about the eyeshadow palettes I added. Today we're doing complexion, so that's mostly like concealer, foundation, powder, things of that nature. Bought a bunch of new makeup brushes as well. I just haven't been sure where to stick them. In this series, I don't know if they'll fit in any other video. It's going to be long enough as it is. Ultimately, what I want to do is dedicated reviews of the brushes that I have picked up because some of them are just incredible. Like I picked up the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose collab. This foundation brush that's in that collab, you guys, if you pick up nothing else, because I believe they just started selling singles of this collab, get this. It has changed my life. Like, it's the best foundation brush I've ever used. I also picked up the Angie Hot and Flashy collab with BK Beauty. Again, if you can pick up this concealer brush, I don't know if they sell hers individually, but the whole collab is great. But this concealer brush is like little kitty soft paw concealer brush. Insane. Love it. Changed my life. And I'm not even being like, I'm not editorializing at all. It's really made my makeup application so much easier. The other ones I picked up were the Morphe and Ariel collab. I have mixed feelings about these. I want to do a review on it, but I also picked up the Morphe, a few of the Morphe Pro. These are their vegan line. These are dope. These are really good. I just wanted to highlight that really quick and point out that I've also got a bunch of new brushes. I think, and you guys will have to let me know, do you want to see dedicated videos about the brushes? Not to mention dedicated videos about any of this stuff, because I would like to make it. I know that a lot of this stuff has been out for a while, but maybe you want to see my perspective. Maybe you want to see if these products lived up to the hype, if they're still worth the hype. I don't know. You'll have to let me know. So a lot of foundation. Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys about this if you've never tried it. This is the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. I used to love the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I still do. In terms of like a primer, I don't really use primers very much. Once in a blue moon, if I know I'm going to be out for a long time, maybe when my skin was more oily even, but for the most part, I don't know. I'm not a big primer fan. I prefer really good skincare on the regs and maybe a nice moisturizer underneath. And for me, the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream is great. I feel like I heard Mario Dedabanovic years ago talking about this, and that's why I kind of jumped on this train. But I happened to find a huge tub of it at Sephora, so I went ahead and got it. This should last me all year. In terms of priming and prepping, this is one of my favorite steps. Thinking about doing a video about like kind of like an in-depth flawless makeup prep, like what you can do, because when I'm really going for it, I will like ice roll and do a microcurrent treatment and do a firming mask and do like a facial massage. Like you can do a lot of things to basically completely transform your face before you put makeup on it. If you want, I can make a whole video. Let me know. But this is one of the steps I enjoy. Did you guys hear this? My daughter told me this. Apparently there is some fascination or trend, something where people are talking about like wanting to take Instagram and or social media back to 2014. I don't know if they're like talking about the Valencia filter. I don't know what they're talking about. It didn't inspire this purchase, but it's what I thought of as I was hunting for new foundations. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. And if you guys know, you know. This foundation owned 2013, 2014, and 2015. I think this was like the moment, the vibe, that bitch. Everybody loved it. And for good reason. It is a very good foundation. And the foundations I have been wearing ever since I've been off the internet and stuff. I've been doing a lot of drugstore. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's amazing drugstore makeup in particular right now. It has come such a long way. But it's been a lot of drugstore like skin tints. And then I was using the Makeup Forever foundation for a while. I was using MAC Studio Fluid. I just haven't gone back to like the more glowy luminous stuff in forever. I have not bought this, I don't think, since 2015. But anyway, my point is my skin has changed. My skin last time I was making beauty content was oily and very breakout prone. I don't know what happened when I was pregnant, but my skin has changed completely. It's now dry, like normal to dry right now because of the weather. But I don't break out anymore. I don't really wear powder anymore. I can't get away with wearing a whole lot of it. So like all those dewy foundations that you don't have to set that I could never be a part of before, I now get to mess with. So I wanted to pick this up because for whatever reason, back when I used to buy this, like in 2013, 2014, I would just powder it. So there's no point ultimately in owning it because what makes this foundation so special is the finish. And I would put this glowy, gorgeous foundation on and then just slap powder all up. It made no sense. So I wanted to try it out with my new skin type and see how it goes. I always, you guys will see this running theme in this video, buy 2 shades of foundation in whatever formula I'm trying, especially if I can't go in person. I'm pretty good about being able to read the description of the shade names and know whether or not it's my shade. Like I'm always a light or a medium neutral. Maybe neutral, tickling with cool, but not too much. I can't get away with pink. So I'm pretty neutral. And in this case, I got the colors number 2 and 5.9. I can mix these, you know, if I'm tanning, which I've gone back into sunless tanning. Hello, who is she? I haven't sunless tanned since before I got pregnant. So I'm a little bit darker some days I'm lighter. Either way, I'm covered because I have a darker shade and a lighter shade. I haven't used this since I bought it. I have tried all the other foundations I'm mentioning today, but this still hasn't been tested on me at this point. But if you're into that 2014 makeup vibe, this was that girl. She owned that time period, y'all. Back in like 2017, 18, I don't know. Lady Gaga started House Laboratories. It was like on Amazon. It's still there. I Googled it because I was so confused. I knew I didn't like dream this. I knew it happened. I was so thoroughly unimpressed by it. Nothing about it seemed, not even that it seemed like bad makeup, because I don't know. It didn't seem like her. It seemed really, I almost, the phrase low rent comes to mind, but that might be an incredibly offensive thing to say. I don't know. It just wasn't the vibe. I did not see the correlation. The packaging looked cheap. There was no concept. And I don't remember people getting excited about it. So fast forward to, I guess it was last year when House Labs launched, and they launched this triclone skin foundation stuff. The amount of people I have seen talk about this foundation since is crazy. And I remember watching some of the videos or like seeing it on Reels or TikTok and being like, is this the same line she launched on Amazon? Did she just take it to Sephora? Did they reformulate, rebrand? Nope. House Laboratories is still on Amazon. This is House Labs. I don't know what's going on. This is the House Labs Triclone Skin Foundation. Everybody talk about this, make it sound like the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm here to tell you something. They're onto it. They are saying a word, because I didn't have any expectations about any of this stuff. Back in the day, when I was a lot more involved in makeup and sick to death of makeup releases, I had low expectations for everything. And if something was really good, I'd be like, wow. But going into everything this time, I held no expectations. I just wanted the products that I tried to make whatever impression on me they were going to. I didn't want to have any preconceived notions about it. But even still, for the very neutral, like run-of-the-mill, expecting nothing place I was at, this blew my freaking mind. This foundation, first of all, the packaging is gorgeous. It reminds me a lot, for some reason, of the La Mer foundation. I don't know, I think it's like the frosted glass and the silver top, something about it. It is beautiful. People were not selling it to me when I was watching review videos about it. They would just say it had a skin-like finish. And I was like, well, a lot of foundations say that, but what are we really talking about here? That's exactly what it is. It just makes your skin look perfect. It makes it look like actual skin. The formula is very long wearing, wears very well. I have had no issues with it. I'm actually wearing it today. Probably can't really tell a difference on camera, but in person, like I put this on and I was just talking to my husband, look at me. It's just a beautiful foundation. It's expensive. It's worth it. This probably would be for content creators I could see wanting to drop this much money on a foundation, people who like makeup and want something for nights out. This is not your everyday foundation, in my opinion. It's a little too full coverage. You're probably going to want a skin tint. But in terms of finish, the color selection, which we'll get into with the concealer in a minute, they did the damn thing with the color selection. There's 117.5 billion colors. Every undertone, every overtone, every skin depth, everything. There's anything you possibly want. I did make, again, picking my shade online very difficult, but I just got 2 colors. I got one in 70 fair neutral and 250 light medium neutral. Light medium neutral is actually really dark, despite what they're saying. This is really dark. But mixing them together, again, same thought process behind the Armani. This is a 10 out of 10. I'm going to tell you guys, if you're wondering, is it overhyped? It's not. It's properly hyped. And again, I'll do a whole video if you want. I also got the Dior Face and Body Foundation. I actually bought this, the original formula of this, back in like 2020, 2021, and was surprised by it a little bit because I have loved, still love the MAC Face and Body. And when I think of a face and body foundation, that's what I think of, like a really glowy, because that's, implied in the name. Body. It's also meant to go on your body. Makeup artists at fashion shows backstage put makeup on people's body. MAC one was really sheer, really thin, really glowy, very buildable, super natural, very beautiful. It seems like the MAC Face and Body is getting discontinued, maybe reformulated. I don't really know. Anyway, all that to say, when I got the Face and Body from Dior a few years ago, I was taken aback. It was really, I felt matte, like on the matte side at the very least, and thick and goopy, and not at all what came to mind when I heard the phrase face and body. Apparently they reformulated it. Now, it has been a long time since I used the original one, not to mention the original one broke me out. I do remember that as well. Again, it's been a long time since I tried it, so I don't have the most amazing frame of reference to give you. This is better. I like this a lot more. I wore this one yesterday for the first time. It's not exactly like the House Labs in that the formula, like the viscousness is different, but it did give a similar appearance on the skin. It's just thinner. It still is a really glowy, beautiful foundation. I think if you're super oily, this would not work for you, but I also think this would be a good daytime foundation. If you blend it out, shear it out really well with your beauty blender, it does give a very skin light, fresh appearance without being too overdone. Like, I can't be the only one who has like daytime foundation, nighttime foundation, special occasion foundation. This feels like all day, every day, good no matter what. Anyone would probably like this type of foundation. I have the colors ON, 0 neutral, I guess, and 3N, 3 neutral. Again, the 3N is so much darker than I thought it was going to be, so I'm really glad I got the lighter one to mix it with. Okay, let's talk about an OG. This is the NARS Radiant Creamy. I am almost considering returning these, simply because the new ones I bought are so good that it makes me want to buy more new ones, like new formulas I haven't tried before. So I might not keep these. I really don't know. I won't talk too much about them. As a result, I don't want to open them. This is Custard and Chantilly. I have worn this probably more and longer than any other concealer I've ever worn. I think I've been buying this since it came out. And I remember when I was doing a lot of makeup content last time, probably like 2021, I was probably still wearing this. It's really good concealer, but like concealer has just, it is having a moment. I just think somebody sat down and was decided at headquarters, at the makeup headquarters, that they are going to show out with concealers because they have gotten, everything has gotten so much better. I'm going to say it like 100 times. Anyway, I may or may not keep these. I don't know. But if I return them and decide to get something else instead, I want you guys to vote below. Should I try the Natasha Denona or should I try the Hourglass? Which one should I try if I decide not to keep these, which I probably will. Anyway, I also picked up the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. This Triclone business, by the way, you guys, refers to a silicone that is in the foundation. Anytime you buy skincare or makeup with silicone in it, it's going to have a smoothing effect to the skin. And also some people do not tolerate silicone well. I used to I used to not. Almost said I used to couldn't. Once upon a time, I could not use anything with silicone in it. It would break me out like crazy. I'm not having any issues now, so this is not a problem for me. But if you are sensitive to silicone, just know that is one of the ingredients in the foundation and the concealer. Before I bought all this new makeup, and part of what inspired me to have to like get my shit together with beauty again is because after my son was born, I really didn't do my makeup at all. Like it took a long time, probably since like 4 or 5 times after he was born until I bought all this new stuff that I did my makeup. And that's because every time I would do it, I would look in the mirror and be like, I look horrible. I look old. My skin looks like shit. Like something is going on. Now that could be because I am getting older. And B, when you're pregnant, there's just so much stuff you can't use on your skin. You can't use tretinoin, you can't use certain acids, you can't use your facial devices. For like a year, my skin just wasn't getting what it normally gets. So not to mention it was also dry. So makeup just looked like shit on it. And I think that's because at the time I was using concealers that were not full enough coverage. And then I was just piling them on and then baking on top of that. And it just looked horrible. It was so bad. And I realize now why, because the concealers I was using, I hadn't tried anything new in so long that I just forgot how good concealer can be when you get the right one. And if you're like me and you're tired all the damn time because you have a 7-month-old, you need a good concealer. All that being said, this is one of them. This is no joke. Like it makes my under eyes look like a brand new baby. Like fresh as the day is new. Just full coverage, no dark circles, smoothing, hydrating. That kind of appearance my skin was having when I was looking at it, I was like, hey, what's going on? It's not happening anymore. Again, my skin has changed, so I don't have to use a lot of powder or anything like that anymore. We'll talk about powder in a minute, but I swear these concealers, this and the next one I'm going to tell you about, are a big part of like why I think makeup is in its like greatest hits era. Everything I'm trying right now is just 10 out of 10. This is really good. Shit ton of colors, okay? Shit ton. Might be hard to figure out your color online. I got fair, rosy, and light neutral. Mix them together. They give me what I need. With concealers, I tend to do, like I do one light, one dark, but I'll also do one neutral and one pink, or one neutral and one peach, if that makes any sense, because I feel like that helps cancel it out. The darkness, that is. Next concealer is Makeup by Mario. I have, like I said, one more video in this senseless ass haul to film, and it's cheeks. So cheeks, bronzer, highlighter, contour, da-da-da-da-da. There's a lot of Makeup by Mario in this haul because I had such faith in this line as a result of him being the one to formulate it. In fact, when KKW Beauty came out, and side note, Kim Kardashian's new makeup line just launched. I'm just as uninterested as I was in KKW Beauty. If I was Kim Kardashian, I would have tried to do like the Rihanna Fenty thing. I would have gone to Sephora and I would have paired up with Mario and made that extremely clear through the branding and through the packaging and through, because his expertise, everyone knows how good of a makeup artist he is. It's just, he's not to be truffled with. And Kim Kardashian's makeup is what it is because of Mario. The two of them together, I think, should have done. Anyway, this concealer, much like the House Labs, they're similar, not identical, but similar. They both give unbelievable coverage that is hydrating and it's smoothing and it's, it's going to crease because everything creases. I don't care what anybody says. If you have any kind of texture, if you have pores, if you have lines, makeup is going to sit on top of or get into them. It's just going to be a matter of application. Now, certain ones can do a much worse job of creasing than others, but I don't think anything is completely crease proof. I think that's kind of BS. This is the concealer. I got the colors. I feel like his were a little harder to navigate. I got 240D and 120. No, 240 and 120, I guess. One of them is more peach. One of them is more neutral. The only thing with this concealer that I found kind of funny is they kind of smell like MAC Pro Longwear. Like speaking of 2014, if you remember the hold chokehold MAC Pro Longwear had on all of us for the hottest of hot minutes, then you will know that this smell, that's what it smells like to me. I do recommend this. I think almost anyone would like it. And much like this, the House Labs, I feel like these concealers have changed my makeup life because I'm not having to put a lot of this concealer on. The finish is beautiful. The colors are beautiful. It's just an incredible formula, and I don't know which I would recommend more. Let's talk about powders. I have 3. First is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. I'm thinking about returning this as well Okay, first of all, what I would use this for in a perfect world is like, this would go in my purse. This would be my touch-up powder. Anybody who's ever owned this powder knows that it's super delicate. Because of the new powders I have, I don't know if this has a place in my stash anymore. I used to love this, and I haven't bought it in a long time, but I did love it because it is the softest, just most hydrating, skin-like, beautiful powder ever, especially like under your eyes. It is the least drying powder. It has like rose oil in it or something. I just used to wear this all the time. It was like, this was my combo. So when I started buying new makeup, I immediately picked these up again because I was like, oh, I used to love these. They worked really well. Again, stuff has just come so far. Everything is so much better now. So these might be going back because, again, the powders I'm using are just better, and I can't put this in my purse and just have it for on the go. It'll shatter unless you guys know something I don't. Did she do a better job with this packaging? Should I keep it? I don't know. I don't know. What I have been using is the Givenchy Prism Libre. I picked this up because of Nikki LaRose. Obviously, I'm in my Nikki LaRose era. She is such a good educator for makeup. I'm really impressed. And that's what I was getting at when I'm saying makeup is just better, because not only is makeup better, but I feel like makeup content is better. I feel like there's so many teachers out there. And if you guys like have been following me for a while, you know that's my shit. My best performing YouTube videos are tutorials, like where I'm teaching you makeup technique, not just color combinations and makeup reviews. It's like my thing. So when I spot someone who's a good educator, you have to understand something really well to be able to teach it. So when I find a good makeup teacher, I will buy anything they recommend because I know they understand it. Anyway, talks about this powder all the time. Look, a lot of stuff in this world is bullshit, right? This is not one of them. This powder is the most beautiful. I almost want to say glowy, but that doesn't even feel appropriate. Like lit from within finish. Even if you like rub it on your hand, you'll see it. It's not flat. It's not chalky. I wear it under my eyes and on the center of my face. I just take like a powder puff, which I do not have in front of me, and I just kind of do a light little pressing motion because I can't wear a lot of powder anymore. Like I said, my skin's gotten dry. This will make your under eyes look brand spanking new. You will look rested, hydrated, glowy, just... This is everything you want in powder. It is pretty fragrant, but it smells really nice. It kind of smells like roses to me. I have the color 3. This is the pink one. It's not pink like that trending thing that I keep seeing happen, like yellow under eye or pink under eye. It's like, don't you want to do the one that actually works with your undertone? I really didn't understand that trend when it was going on. Because like back in the day when banana powder was really popular, you'd see a lot of people who did not have yellow undertones trying to make that work, and it was super unflattering and harsh. Conversely, if you don't really have pink undertones, pink under eyes do the same thing. This isn't like that. It's not going to change the color of your foundation or your concealer. I don't feel that way, at least. It's just beautiful. There are other shades. I'm probably going to pick up the fair one that's intended for more fair skin, just in case. I don't know. I might not be tan and find that this does leave a little bit of a cast, but so far, not at all. I think out of everything I have picked up, don't let me say that. I started to say this is the best thing, but that's because I was struggling. Like my under eye was looking busted, crusted, and disgusted. It was bad, but this saved my life. 2 more things and we'll call it a day. This is the Haus Labs Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder. I got the color translucent. I haven't tried this yet. Frankly, excuse me, can you please come out of this package? Because I am so in love with the Givenchy one. There's just no comparison at this point. But I have heard a lot of good things about this as well. Packaging, doesn't this remind you of Glossier? Something about this makes me think of Glossier. I don't know what it is. And their actual outside packaging reminds me of Le Labo. I don't know why, but seems like they took a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I do think they have a very strong brand identity, don't get me wrong, but the packaging is very reminiscent of other brands to me. Anyway, this is just a translucent powder. I have not tried it. I don't know anything as far as, is it preferable for setting? Is it preferable for baking? Is it going to perform as well as anything else I have? I don't know. Frankly, I couldn't tell you why I bought it. Somebody must have recommended it that I trusted, or it could just be built off the fact that everything from Haus Labs I've tried is impeccable. So no thoughts whatsoever, just vibes. I'll have to tell you later when I figure it out. Lastly, but certainly not Leasley. I have not bought a new setting spray in years. I think the last new setting spray that I bought was probably in like 2018. Glam Glow made one. I don't know. I've just not been a setting spray girl. The only exception is MAC Fix Plus. I always have MAC Fix Plus because it has so much glycerin in it that it really does make your skin look glowy. It probably is not going to make it last any longer, but it makes it look more like skin. When I was a pro makeup artist, like everyone got bathed in Fix Plus because I could just pile makeup on you, powder, just lock that sumbitch in with as much makeup as necessary and hit you with some of that Fix Plus, a lot of it, and you looked amazing. And this is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Party all day, stay all night. I like the way this smells a lot. It smells very expensive. It kind of smells like a spa. I have been using it mostly for like before I apply my makeup. So I will do my skin prep, and then as I'm getting ready to start applying my foundation, I will wet my face with this so that I'm not applying it on a dry face. Nikki LaRose taught me that. I do feel like it wets my face. I don't know. Setting sprays are weird because I feel like unless you really put them to the test, which I'm happy to do at some point, and it's not like I'm doing anything crazy these days. I'm just taking care of my baby. So it's not this like high stakes, sweaty environment where I can really attest to whether it makes my makeup last longer, but I just wanted to try it. Okay. There's no good reason other than that. I love the way it smells. That much I can agree with. And the reviews on this are phenomenal. Everybody loves it. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have for you guys as far as complexion is concerned. I'm going to turn this camera off. I'm going to finish this up with cheeks, a little bit of brows, maybe like some mascara things, but that's it. That's it. No big deal. I just have a ridiculous amount of makeup. All of this stuff, happy to do in-depth videos. Do you guys want me to do wear tests? Do you want to see comparisons and contrastions? Do you want some comparing and contrasting? What am I trying to say? Do you want me to compare any of these two products to each other? Like, for example, as I mentioned, these two in particular are hard for me to pick a favorite, but I'd be happy to figure out a way to delineate that information to you. If that's what you want, let me know. I'm going to get out of here. If you want to see the next round of this video, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, hit the notification bell. And as always, come follow me on Instagram because there will be micro content coming out about these products as well, that maybe there's more swatches, maybe more information. I don't know. I'm new. I'm back. Hello. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.